My name is Diego, and I was there when Mia's story changed forever. It was a chilly morning on April 14th, 2023, in a small cafe in downtown Seattle, where she stood at the counter, her heart racing with anticipation. Just moments before, she'd received a text from her ex-husband, a reminder of the storm brewing in her life. She smiled, but the warmth of that expression didn't quite reach her eyes, betraying the turmoil beneath the surface. The aroma of rain on the pavement filled the air, mingling with the sound of birds chirping outside, creating an odd sense of calm amidst her chaos. Mia exuded strength, but even she could feel the tremors of uncertainty ripple through her. How can blood turn to poison like this? Nearby, a poor waitress secretly watched Mia, sensing the weight of her struggles. The waitress had seen countless stories unfold in that cafe, but Mia's felt different, more poignant.
What nobody knew was that this seemingly ordinary day would unravel secrets that had been buried for years, changing everything Mia thought she knew about love and betrayal. As the waitress wiped down the counter, she couldn't shake the feeling that Mia's life was on the brink of a transformation, one that would intertwine their fates in ways neither could predict. The warm morning sun streamed through the large windows of the diner, casting a golden glow over the worn red vinyl booths. The smell of fresh pancakes wafted through the air, mingling with the rich aroma of brewing coffee. Mia moved swiftly through the kitchen, her apron slightly stained from a hectic breakfast rush. She deftly flipped pancakes on the griddle, the sound of sizzling batter a comforting soundtrack to her morning routine. "Hey Mia, 2 more tables just sat down," called out Mary, the head cook, her voice laced with urgency. Mia nodded, her heart racing with the familiar rhythm of the busy diner. She had grown accustomed to juggling multiple jobs, each shift a stepping stone toward a brighter future for her family, especially her ailing mother. As she poured a fresh cup of coffee, she felt the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. In the kitchen, it hurt like strength. She couldn't afford to falter. Every tip mattered. Every customer served was a small victory against the odds stacked against her. Just then, the bell above the door jingled, announcing the arrival of new patrons. Mia looked up and spotted a well-dressed man, his sharp suit and polished shoes a stark contrast to the usual crowd. He had an air of confidence about him, yet his eyes held a certain vulnerability. She couldn't shake the feeling that he was a regular, though she couldn't recall ever having served him before. "Welcome. What can I get started for you today?" she asked, her voice cheerful despite the fatigue tugging at her. He smiled warmly. "Just a coffee for now, please. Black. And maybe a stack of those famous pancakes." "Oh my God, you're in for a treat. They're my favorite," Mia replied, her enthusiasm genuine. As she poured his coffee, she noticed how he seemed to absorb the atmosphere around him, watching the bustling diner with a hint of nostalgia. "Tell me, what's your dream?" he asked suddenly, catching her off guard. His voice was smooth, yet there was a sincerity that made her want to open up. Mia hesitated, her heart sinking slightly. "Honestly, I dream of a better life for my family. My mom isn't well, and I just want to make sure she's taken care of. It's tough sometimes, you know?" "I can only imagine, but it sounds like you're doing everything you can. That strength is admirable," he replied, nodding thoughtfully. Mia felt a warmth spread through her, a rare moment of connection amidst the clatter of plates and chatter of patrons. "Thank you. It's just, sometimes it feels like I'm fighting an uphill battle. Like I'm stuck in quicksand." "Trust me, every effort counts. You're stronger than you think," he said, his gaze unwavering. The conversation lingered in her mind as she rushed to fill orders. It was rare to find someone who understood, someone who listened without judgment. As the lunch crowd thinned, she found herself stealing glances at the man, who remained absorbed in his thoughts, the untouched pancakes slowly growing cold on his plate. Cultural reflection. That moment in the kitchen changed everything. Just as she approached his table to check on him, she overheard a couple of customers discussing a recent company acquisition, the kind of news that rattled the local businesses and sent ripples of anxiety through the community.
Her heart sank at the mention of job losses and uncertainty. "Mia!" David's voice cut through her thoughts as he entered the diner, a friendly smile plastered across his face. "How's my favorite waitress today?" "Busy as usual, David." "You know how it is," she replied, forcing a smile even as her mind raced. David had been her rock, always encouraging her to chase her dreams. "Listen, I heard about that company deal. It's going to hit a lot of families hard," he said, taking a seat at the counter. "Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'll be fine," she said, though she knew the truth was more complicated. The words hung in the air, and she could feel the tension building inside her. The well-dressed man stood up, adjusting his jacket. "I have to run, but it was a pleasure talking to you, Mia. Keep that fire alive." With that, he left a generous tip on the table and walked out, leaving her with a lingering sense of curiosity. Who was he? Thought, the smell of pancakes brought painful memories. Just then, David leaned closer. Did he say anything interesting? Mia glanced at the tip, then back at the door. Just about dreams and strength. He seemed different, like he understood. David raised an eyebrow. "You never know who you're talking to. Sometimes the universe sends you a sign when you least expect it." As the diner began to wind down, Mia felt a mix of hope and uncertainty swirling inside her. Little did she know, the man in the suit was more than just a stranger. He would soon change everything she thought she knew about her life and her dreams. Mia gazed out the window. "What a beautiful day," she whispered. Grace noticed her distant look. "You seem lost in thought." Mia stood behind the counter of the diner, the familiar clattering of plates and the sizzle of bacon filling the air. It was a chaotic morning, the kind where the smell of fresh apple pie wafted through the door and mixed with the earthy scent of rain on the pavement outside. She flipped pancakes with a practiced hand, her mind racing with thoughts of her mother, who had been hospitalized just a few days ago. The news had turned her world upside down, and now, looming medical bills were casting a shadow over her already fragile financial situation. "Hey Mia, 2 more tables just sat down," Mary called out from the other side of the diner, her voice cutting through the noise like a bell. Mia felt her heart sink, a weight pressing against her chest. She forced a smile, trying to push the worry aside. But the truth was, her job as a waitress barely paid enough to keep food on the table, let alone cover unexpected expenses like hospital bills. As she poured coffee for a couple at the booth, Mia caught sight of a familiar figure entering the diner. It was the mysterious man from before, the one who had spoken to her about following her passion. Today, he was dressed casually, a simple t-shirt and jeans that somehow made him look more approachable. She could feel the butterflies in her stomach as he approached the counter. "Hey Mia," he said, his voice smooth like the wind chimes tinkling outside. "Mind if I join you for a moment?" "Oh my God!" "Of course," Mia replied, her surprise evident. She wiped her hands on her apron and leaned against the counter, eager to engage in conversation. "I didn't expect to see you again." He smiled, and for a moment the chaos of the diner faded into the background. "I've been thinking about what you said last time. You mentioned wanting something more than just this job." Mia nodded, her heart racing. "It's just, with my mom in the hospital, I'm starting to wonder if I should take a higher-paying job, even if it's not what I want." His expression shifted, a hint of concern crossing his features. "But what about your dreams? You shouldn't have to sacrifice them just because life gets tough." Her eyes widened, a flicker of hope igniting within her. "You're right, but it feels impossible sometimes. It's like every time I take a step forward, something pulls me back." "Believe me, I get it," he said, leaning closer. "But if you don't chase what you love, you might regret it. Life is too short to settle." Mia felt a rush of emotions, the weight of her struggles battling against her desire for a brighter future. "It just hurts so much to think about leaving my family behind." At that moment, the bell above the door jingled again, and in walked Thomas, her brother. His eyes darted around the diner before landing on her, a smirk playing at the corners of his mouth. "Look who's playing the role of the aspiring artist," he sneered, cutting through the hopeful atmosphere like a knife. "Still dreaming while the rest of us are working?" Mia's heart sank deeper. "Thomas, I'm just trying to figure things out." "Right," he scoffed, "because flipping pancakes is the ticket to success." The mysterious man shot a disapproving look at Thomas, who seemed unfazed. "Why don't you support her instead of tearing her down?" he asked, his tone firm. "Support? She'll never make it," Thomas replied, crossing his arms. "Not with those ridiculous dreams of hers." "Enough!" Mia shouted, surprising herself. The diner fell silent, and she felt the weight of everyone's gaze. "I've worked hard for everything, and I'm not going to let you or anyone else discourage me." Thomas rolled his eyes, but the intensity of the moment shifted something inside Mia. She felt empowered, ready to take control of her life. "I can't believe you'd come in here just to belittle me," she added, her voice steady. The man nodded approvingly, a smile breaking through his earlier concern. "That's the spirit, Mia. Keep that fire alive." As the tension between her and Thomas simmered, Mia realized that this was more than just a conversation. It was a turning point. She could no longer let her brother's jealousy dictate her path. The rain began to patter against the window, a soothing sound that reminded her of the calm after the storm. "Listen," the man said, his voice softening. "You have something special. Don't let anyone take that away from you." Preserve the original language spread through her chest, the flickering hope igniting into a flame. "Thank you," she whispered, realizing that perhaps this unexpected encounter was exactly what she needed. It was as if the universe had conspired to show her that even in the darkest moments, there was a way forward. Reflecting on the conversation, she couldn't shake the feeling that something significant was changing within her. This was not just a chance meeting, it was the beginning of a new chapter. As she took a deep breath, she resolved to fight for her dreams, no matter what obstacles lay ahead. And for the first time in a long while, she felt ready to embrace the future. Mia took a deep breath. "We need to have a serious conversation." Grace tensed up. About what exactly? Mia stood in the cramped living room, the distant hum of traffic filtering through the open window. She could smell the fresh grass from the lawn outside, a stark contrast to the heaviness in her heart. Her mother's health had been declining for months, and every day felt like a tightrope walk, balancing between hope and despair. The looming bills and the burden of supporting her family pressed down on her like a weight she couldn't shake off. "Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening," Mia whispered to herself, running a hand through her hair in frustration. She had just received another call from the doctor's office, and the news had only added to her anxiety. The thought of her mother's illness made her stomach churn. She needed to do something, anything, to change their situation. Then it struck her, the local business contest that she had heard about at the diner. It was a long shot, but what if it could be the break she desperately needed? The prize money could help her family and maybe even allow her to pursue her dream of owning a small cafe. With a deep breath, she decided to enter the contest, feeling a flicker of hope ignite within her. "Mia, are you sure about this?" David asked, his voice filled with concern as they sat on the worn couch later that evening. He had been her rock through everything, always encouraging her to chase her dreams. "I have to try, David. What other choice do I have?" Mia replied, determination lacing her words. "I can't just sit here and watch everything fall apart." "You know I support you, but it's a big gamble," he said, leaning forward. "You'll need all the help you can get." As if summoned by fate, a sudden knock on the door interrupted their conversation. Mia exchanged a puzzled look with David before getting up to answer it. Standing on the porch was a tall man with an air of confidence that instantly put her on edge. He wore a simple baseball cap and sunglasses, but there was something about him that felt out of place. "Hi, I'm Alex," he said, removing his glasses. "I heard about the business contest and thought you could use some guidance." Mia hesitated, sizing him up. "How do you know about me?" "I have my ways," he replied with a smile that was both charming and enigmatic. "Look, I know this might sound odd, but I'm a CEO. I've been in your shoes before, and I want to help you succeed." Her heart raced at his words. "You're a CEO? Why would you want to help me?" "Because I believe in potential," Alex said, his tone earnest. "And I see it in you. I can mentor you through the contest, but you'll have to trust me." Mia's heart sank as she wrestled with her emotions. She had never been one to accept help, always pushing through on her own. "I don't know if I can do this," she admitted, vulnerability creeping into her voice. "Listen, Mia," Alex said, stepping closer. "You don't have to go through this alone. I know you're scared, but taking a leap of faith can change everything." She felt the weight of his words. The idea of having someone like Alex in her corner was both exhilarating and terrifying. "Okay," she finally said, her voice steadying. "I'll do it. But if I'm going to take this leap, I need you to be completely honest with me." "Absolutely," Alex replied, nodding in agreement. "We'll tackle this together." As he left, Mia stood at the door, a mixture of excitement and apprehension swirling inside her. Could this really be the turning point she had been waiting for? Reflection hit her as she sank back onto the couch. Cultural reflection. In the living room, it hurt like hope. The very notion of trusting someone else felt foreign yet liberating. In the following days, Mia threw herself into the contest preparations with an intensity she had never known before. With Alex's guidance, she transformed her ideas into a viable business plan, each brainstorming session filled with laughter and inspiration. David watched her with pride, his belief in her growing stronger every day. "Mia, you've got this," he said one afternoon as they reviewed her pitch. "Just remember to show them your heart. That's what sets you apart." But just as her confidence began to soar, the shadows from her past resurfaced. One afternoon, as she was working on her presentation, Thomas barged into the house, a scowl etched on his face. "Why are you wasting your time with this nonsense?" he snapped, crossing his arms. "You think some contest is going to change our lives?" Mia felt her chest tighten at his words. "I'm trying to do something positive for our family, Thomas. Can't you see that?" He rolled his eyes. "You're just setting yourself up for failure. You'll never be more than a waitress." Her heart raced with anger and hurt. "You have no idea what I'm capable of," she shot back. "I'm tired of you undermining me. I'm doing this for Mom, for us." The tension hung thick in the air, and as Thomas stormed out, Mia felt a mix of defeat and determination swell within her. She couldn't let his negativity derail her dreams. Days later, as she stood in front of the panel of judges for the contest, she could feel her heart pounding in her chest. The room was filled with a mix of nerves and excitement, and she couldn't help but glance at Alex, who gave her an encouraging nod. "Take a deep breath, Mia. Show them what you've got," he whispered just before her turn. With each word she spoke, a sense of purpose washed over her. She shared her vision of a community cafe, a place where people could gather and find comfort. As she wrapped up her pitch, she felt a spark of hope ignite within her. And just like that, it happened. When the results were announced, Mia couldn't believe her ears. She had won! As the applause erupted around her, a wave of disbelief washed over her. That moment in the living room changed everything. She had taken a leap of faith, and it had paid off. With a smile on her face and dreams in her heart, she stepped into a new chapter of her life, one that would lead her far beyond the diner and into a future she had only dared to imagine. "I can't believe you did this!" Mia exclaimed. Grace tried to explain, but words failed him. Mia stood in the small, bustling kitchen of the diner, the smell of morning coffee wafting through the air, mingling with the sizzling sound of bacon on the griddle. The wind chimes outside jingled softly, a gentle reminder of the world beyond the chaos of breakfast service. She flipped pancakes with a practiced ease, her mind momentarily drifting to the upcoming business contest she had heard about.
The thought sparked a flicker of hope in her heart, a chance to change everything for her family. "Hey, Mia, 2 more tables just sat down," Mary called out, snapping Mia back to reality. "Got it," she replied, forcing a smile. But even as she moved, her thoughts lingered on her mother's health and the weight of her brother Thomas's resentful glares. He thought she was wasting her time dreaming, but he didn't understand how much she wanted to make a better life for them all. Later that afternoon,
After a hectic lunch rush, Mia found herself in the back of the diner, her fingers tracing the edges of a flyer for the contest. Just then, the bell above the diner door jingled, and in walked a man she hadn't seen before. He looked unassuming, dressed in a simple t-shirt and jeans, but there was something about his presence that made Mia's heart race. He approached the counter, a warm smile lighting his face. "Hey there, I'm just passing through, but this place looks great," he said, his voice easy and friendly. Mia smiled back, grateful for a moment of connection. "Thanks, we do our best to keep the locals happy." They exchanged small talk, and Mia found herself laughing more than she had in weeks. He introduced himself as Alex, a traveler on a business trip, and they chatted about everything from the best BBQ spots in town to the challenges of running a small business. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting a warm glow through the diner windows, Mia felt a sense of camaraderie with this stranger. Then came the surprise. A few days later, Mia was busy preparing for another shift when she noticed a commotion at the front of the diner. A group of people had gathered, and she could see them whispering animatedly. Curiosity piqued, she wiped her hands on her apron and stepped outside. "Mia, you won't believe this!" David exclaimed, rushing toward her, his eyes wide with excitement. "What is it?" Mia asked, her heart racing. "Alex, the guy you were talking to, he's actually the CEO of that company that's laying off employees." David's voice was a mix of disbelief and excitement. Mia's heart sank. "Oh my God, I can't believe this. You're kidding, right?" "No, he was here to get a feel for what the employees were going through. He's been coming in disguise," David explained, his enthusiasm dimming as he noticed her expression. "What does that mean for us?" Mia asked, a knot tightening in her stomach. The next day, there was a surprise meeting called at the diner. Mia stood behind the counter, her hands shaking slightly as she poured coffee for the gathered crowd. When Alex walked in, dressed in his usual casual attire, the room fell silent. He cleared his throat, and the tension was palpable. "Thank you all for coming. I know you're probably wondering why I've been coming here under the radar," he began, his tone earnest. "I wanted to understand the challenges you all face, especially with the upcoming layoffs looming over us." Mia felt a mix of emotions swirling within her: anger, betrayal, confusion. How could he have disguised himself and pretended to be someone else? She stepped forward, unable to contain herself. "So this was just a game to you? You exploited our struggles to get some insights for your company?" Alex's expression shifted, hurt flashing across his features. "Mia, it wasn't like that. I wanted to know the truth, to help. I thought if I understood better, I could make a difference." "Make a difference?" she echoed incredulously. "You think playing dress-up gives you the right to invade our lives? You made me feel like I could trust you." "I never meant to deceive you," he insisted, his voice rising. "I thought you might understand my intentions if I was honest with you about who I was." Mia shook her head, her heart pounding. "I can't believe this. I opened up to you. You made me feel seen when all I've felt is invisible. And now I find out you're just a CEO in disguise?" The air was thick with tension, and the other patrons shifted uncomfortably. Alex took a step closer, his eyes earnest. "Mia, I understand if you're angry. I truly do. But I want to help. I want to make sure no one has to lose their job, including you." In that moment, the gravity of the situation settled like a heavy fog in her mind. She felt a flicker of hope battling against the betrayal. Could this really change anything? "Mia," David whispered, his voice low. "Maybe this is your chance. You could make a difference too if you let him explain."
Mia looked back at Alex, who stood there, vulnerability etched across his face. Despite her anger, she could see the sincerity in his eyes. Maybe she didn't have to turn her back completely. But just as she was about to respond, a voice rang out from the back of the diner. "Yeah, right. Like we can trust a guy like him," Thomas sneered, his jealousy spilling over. "He's just playing with you, Mia." The room fell silent once more, and Mia's heart raced. In that moment, she realized that she had a choice to make, not just about Alex, but about her own future. Would she let fear and betrayal dictate her actions, or would she step into the unknown, fueled by hope? Caught between two worlds, Mia took a deep breath, ready to confront not just the man in front of her, but the ghosts of her past as well. "I can't believe this," Mia whispered in disbelief. "I can explain everything," Grace said desperately.
The sun hung low in the sky, casting a warm golden hue over the backyard where Mia stood, her heart racing with anticipation. The smell of fresh grass mixed with the faint aroma of BBQ wafting from the grill nearby, wrapping around her like a comforting embrace. She could hear the distant sound of birds chirping, their melodies a stark contrast to the chaos that often filled her life. Today was different. She could feel it in her bones. "Okay, Mia, focus," she whispered to herself, her palms clammy as she shuffled through the notes she had scribbled down about the business contest. The confrontation with Alex had ignited something within her, a spark she thought had long been extinguished. She had seen the potential in herself, and now, with every breath she took, she was ready to transform that potential into something real. "Hey, you ready for this?" David's voice pulled her from her thoughts. He leaned against the fence, a knowing smile on his face. His presence was a steady anchor amidst the whirlwind of emotions swirling inside her. "Yeah, I just can't believe I'm actually going to do this," Mia replied, her voice tinged with a mix of excitement and nerves. "It feels like a dream." David chuckled softly. "It's not a dream, Mia. You've been busting your butt at that diner, and now it's time to show everyone what you can do. You've got the skills." Mia glanced around, taking in the vibrant scene, the laughter of children playing, the sizzle of meat on the grill, and the warmth of the sun on her skin. It was a stark contrast to the darkness she had felt for so long, especially after Grace's betrayal. "I can't help but think about how different my life could be if this works out," she admitted, her heart sinking slightly at the thought of all the sacrifices she had made. David placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "Whatever happens, you've got me in your corner. Just remember, you're not alone in this. You've got talent, and I know you can make it work." As Mia took a deep breath, the sweet smell of BBQ filled her lungs, and she felt a flicker of hope ignite within her. She thought of the local business owners she had met during her networking attempts, each one willing to lend support to her dream. "I've got a plan," she said, her voice stronger now. "I'm going to show them that I can do this." "Then let's get to work," David encouraged, his eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "What's next?" Mia pulled out a flyer she had designed for her project, a community cooking class that would incorporate her love for food and her desire to bring people together. "I want to make it a safe space for families to learn and grow. We can host it at the community center, and I've already spoken to a couple of local businesses who want to sponsor it." "Wow, you've really thought this through," David said, his tone sincere. "You're going to blow them away." But just as Mia felt her confidence swell, a shadow crossed her mind. Thomas. Her brother had always been resentful of her dedication to the family. The jealousy simmered beneath the surface, and she could almost hear his deriding words. "You think you can just waltz in and do whatever you want? You'll fail, and then what?" "Maybe he'll surprise you," David said, breaking into her thoughts. "People change, you know. Besides, this isn't just about him, it's about you taking a stand for what you want." Mia nodded, though doubt lingered in her mind. She had to silence that voice, the one that told her she didn't deserve this. "You're right," she said firmly. "I need to focus on the positive."
As the sun dipped lower, casting long shadows across the yard, Mia felt a growing sense of clarity. She was ready to step into the spotlight, to claim her place in the world, and finally break free from the chains of betrayal and doubt. "Let's do this," she said, determination surging through her. "I'm not just doing this for me.
I'm doing it for all of us. For Mom, for you, and even for Grace." David raised an eyebrow. "Grace? You're still thinking about her?" Mia sighed, the name heavy on her tongue. "I can't help it. I just wonder if she'll ever understand what she lost." "Let that go," he urged, leaning closer. "What matters is what you're building now. You're carving out a future, and it's bright." Mia smiled, feeling the warmth of his encouragement wash over her. She had a journey ahead, full of challenges and uncertainties, but for the first time, she felt hope blooming within her. She was ready to embrace it all, the pain, the joy, and the possibility of a new beginning. Mia clenched her fists. "I don't want to hear any more excuses." Grace hung his head. "I'm truly sorry." Mia stood backstage at the contest finals, her heart racing. The smell of rain on the pavement wafted through the open windows, mingling with the scent of fresh apple pie from the nearby bake sale. She could hear the wind chimes tinkling outside, but inside, the atmosphere felt charged, electric. This was her moment to shine, to tell her story and challenge the very culture that had kept so many down. As she stepped out onto the stage, the bright lights blinded her momentarily. She took a deep breath, feeling the weight of her family's struggles and her own sacrifices pressing down on her. She spotted Grace in the crowd, a familiar face that brought a mix of emotions. Her heart sank slightly, but she pushed through the hesitation. This was bigger than her past. "Thank you all for being here," Mia began, her voice steady despite the quiver in her stomach. "I'm Mia, and I want to share my journey. It's not just my story, it's the story of countless workers who give everything for a company that doesn't see them." A murmur rippled through the audience. Mia could feel their eyes on her, some curious, others skeptical. She pressed on. "I've worked my whole life to support my family, juggling shifts at the diner and caring for my sick mother. But it's not just about me. It's about the people who work long hours without recognition. The ones who are afraid to speak up because they fear losing their jobs." She paused, letting the silence fill the space. A bead of sweat trickled down her back, but she was fueled by the urgency of her message. "I can't believe how many times I've watched my peers get overlooked for promotions or be forced to work in terrible conditions. This company has a culture that prioritizes profit over people, and it's time to change that." The audience erupted in murmurs, some nodding along while others exchanged glances. Just then, Alex stepped forward from the shadows, his face illuminated under the stage lights. The crowd gasped, and Mia felt her breath catch. "Oh my God, is that?" "Yes, it's me," Alex said, his voice clear and strong. "Mia, you're right. I'm not just here as a contestant. I'm here as someone who has witnessed the injustices firsthand. I've been working undercover to understand the company from the ground up, and I'm here to support you." Mia's heart raced. "But why didn't you tell me sooner?" she blurted out, the betrayal from her past creeping back into her thoughts. "I wanted you to see the company for what it really is, to find your voice without my influence clouding your perspective," he replied, stepping closer. "And now I pledge to make real changes. We will prioritize employee welfare over profits. I will not let you or anyone else continue to suffer in silence." Mia's mind reeled. "You're serious?" she asked, incredulous. "You really think you can change this?" "I believe we can," Alex said, a determination in his eyes that sparked hope within her. "Together, we can create a workplace that values every individual, that uplifts the voices of the employees instead of silencing them." The crowd erupted in applause, the sound washing over Mia like a wave of warmth. But then she caught a glimpse of Grace, who was standing with crossed arms, her expression a mix of disbelief and resentment. "Is this a joke?" Grace shouted, her voice cutting through the applause. "You think you can just come in here and promise change? People like us don't just get handed the keys to the kingdom." Mia's heart raced again, not just from Grace's challenge, but from the support swelling around her. "It's not about handing out keys, Grace," Mia replied, her voice firm. "It's about opening doors. We can't let fear dictate our futures anymore." Grace scoffed, rolling her eyes. "And what makes you think they'll listen to you? You're just a waitress." Mia took a deep breath, grounding herself. "I'm not just a waitress. I'm a voice for everyone who feels powerless, and today we're going to make them listen." The energy in the room shifted, the tension palpable. Mia could feel the weight of the moment, the hopes of everyone around her resting on her shoulders. She locked eyes with David, who had been watching from the sidelines, and she saw his encouraging smile. That moment changed everything. "Let's show them what we're made of," Mia called out, raising her fist in the air. The crowd erupted, clapping and cheering, their voices rising in a chorus of support. She felt a surge of confidence, fueled by the unity surrounding her. As the applause died down, Mia turned back to Alex. "Let's do this together. Let's make sure that no one else has to feel what I've felt. We can rewrite the narrative." Alex nodded, a fire igniting in his eyes. "Together, we'll make a difference. I won't let you down, Mia." And just like that, amidst the smell of apple pie and the sound of wind chimes outside, Mia stepped into a new chapter of her life, ready to fight for what was right. She could feel the rain beginning to fall outside, but inside, the storm had transformed into a beacon of hope. "Enough!" Mia shouted, her voice echoing. "Please, let me speak," Grace pleaded. "There's nothing left to say," Mia finalized. Mia stood on the porch of her small apartment, a gentle breeze rustling the wind chimes hanging above her. The smell of rain on the pavement lingered in the air, mingling with the sweet scent of the apple pie cooling on her kitchen counter. Her mind was a whirlwind of thoughts. Just days ago, she had been an anonymous waitress in a diner, and now she found herself on the brink of something extraordinary. "Can you believe it, Mia?" David exclaimed, his eyes sparkling with excitement as he leaned against the porch railing. "You're actually going to be partners with Alex! This is huge!" Mia shook her head in disbelief. "Oh my God, I can't believe this. Just a few weeks ago, I was wondering if I'd ever get out of that diner. Now, I'm starting a business that could really make a difference." David laughed, the sound warm and comforting. "You deserve this, Mia. You've worked so hard. Remember the late nights and early mornings? This is your moment." Her heart swelled with gratitude, yet the weight of her past lingered in her chest. Grace's betrayal had left scars that still ached, and Thomas's jealousy had often clouded her dreams. Yet, as she looked out at the horizon, she felt a flicker of hope, a chance to prove to herself and everyone else that she was more than just a waitress. "Do you think they'll really support me?" she asked, glancing down the street where familiar faces had gathered. The diner community had rallied around her, celebrating her success as if it were their own. They were more than just patrons, they were family. "Of course, you've inspired them," David reassured her. "They see you as a beacon of hope. You're turning your dreams into reality, Mia." The sound of laughter and chatter drifted up from the street, and Mia's heart sank momentarily as she thought of Grace. The memories of their time together felt like shards of glass, sharp and painful. The betrayal had left her feeling lost and unworthy, yet now she was rising from the ashes. "Sometimes I wish Grace could see me now," Mia murmured, almost to herself. "I wonder if she'd regret what she did." David stepped closer, his voice steady. "You can't change the past, but you can shape your future. This is your chance to redefine who you are, away from her shadow." Mia took a deep breath, letting the cool air fill her lungs. She thought of the business concept she had shared with Alex, one focused on empowering employees, promoting fair practices, and creating a community rather than just a corporate machine. The vision felt alive within her, a manifestation of her struggles and aspirations. "I just hope I don't let anyone down," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "You won't," David insisted. "You're a fighter, and remember, you're not alone in this. We all believe in you." As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden hue over the neighborhood, Mia felt a surge of determination. It was now or never. "Let's go celebrate with everyone. They've been my backbone through this journey, and I want to share this moment with them." The two of them made their way to the street, where her neighbors and friends were already gathering. Laughter echoed around her, and for the first time in what felt like ages, Mia's heart felt light. She was no longer just a waitress. She was a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of dreams and hard work. When she arrived at the gathering, she was greeted with cheers and warm embraces. "You did it, Mia!" someone shouted. The crowd clapped and raised their glasses in a toast. "To Mia, the new entrepreneur!" Mia stood in the center, her heart swelling with pride. She caught David's eye and smiled. "I couldn't have done this without all of you." Just then, a familiar voice broke through the crowd. "Mia!" It was Thomas. And the look on his face was one of unexpected admiration. "I didn't think you could pull it off, but here you are, making a name for yourself." Her heart skipped a beat, the micro twist settling in her gut. "Thomas, thank you. I appreciate that." For a moment, she felt a flicker of hope for their relationship. Maybe this was the beginning of healing, not just for herself, but for her family too. As the celebration continued, Mia stole a moment to step back, absorbing the scene. She thought of how far she'd come from flipping pancakes to standing in front of a community that believed in her. Her name would soon be on the door of a business that represented more than just profit. It symbolized resilience, empowerment, and a bright future. And as she stood there, she reflected on the journey that had brought her to this moment. What would Grace think if she could see me now? In that quiet moment, with the sound of wind chimes in the air and the scent of apple pie wafting from her kitchen, she realized that sometimes the most unexpected paths lead to the greatest destinations. "Life has a funny way of turning things around," Mia said to herself, a smile creeping across her face. And you, on your porch, what dreams have you set aside in the face of betrayal?